This parsha and this chumash is all about Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, it is clear in Bavli and Yerushalmi and Medrash, and the Rambam dedicates an entire chapter of Shemoyne Prokim that the Rambam writes as an introduction to Masechet Avos about the greatness of Moshe Rabbeinu. He was the greatest human being ever to live. Laikam kemoisai, novi kemoishe, not before, not after. Av lechachomim lekoidmim lefonav ulabor machlav, the Rambam writes about Moshe Rabbeinu. Not only av lenavim, av lechachomim lekoidmim lefonav ulabor machlav. And it is clear in Torah's Hashem. Pe el pe adaber imoi, b'mara, v'lo b'chidois. The Nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu was above and beyond all the other Nevi'im. I once phrased it like this, and that's my phrase. All the Nevi'im experienced the Kodesh Baruch Hu. The Avos HaKadoshim conversed with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Only Moshe Rabbeinu argued with the Kodesh Baruch Hu. Only Moshe Rabbeinu threatened the Kodesh Baruch Hu when he says, Im ayin mecheninu mesifrecho asher kusefta. So that is Moshe Rabbeinu. But what are the first things we learn about Moshe Rabbeinu in this parsha, even before the sneh, before the revelation on the sneh? 5 things. Number 1 is, V'yetze el echa v'yar b'sivlosam. He went out with his brothers, to his brethren, and he saw their pain. Rashi writes, Nosen einoi v'liboy liois meitzar aleihem. And what is the dual language, einoi v'liboy? Some people just can't feel the pain of others. They have such a leiv otem, they can't feel the pain of others. Some people are so blind they don't even see. Not only they don't feel. They always prefer to look the other way. Moshe Rabbeinu nosen einoi v'liboy. He saw the pain. And he not only saw the pain, he felt the pain. V'yetze alecho v'yar b'sivloisa. He was troubled, he was pained by seeing other people in pain. I think many times I told you a Hasidic Shemaisa. Rav Moshe Leib Mesasov, does anybody know anything about Rav Moshe Leib Mesasov? Who was his Rebbe? Who was one of the great Hasidic masters? Who was the Rebbe of Rav Moshe Leib Mesasov? 2. One you might guess. After the Baal Shem Tov, who was the best-known Hasidic Rebbe in history? Who? No. One of the Talmidim of the Maggid. Rebbe Ramelech Merezhens, the Noam Ramelech. So Rav Moshe Leib Mesasov was a chassid of Ramelech and of Reb Shmelka Meniklichburg. And he said, the true essence of Yehavta l'reacho kamoichu I learned from a non-Jew. So before I go on with the story, some of you might wonder, does such a great tzaddik need to learn anything from a non-Jew? Why not? There's a gentleman probably you all know, and his name is Doma ben Hassina. Who knows Doma ben Hassina? Where did you meet him? Where did you meet Doma ben Hassina? In Kedushin Daf Lamed Beis. Or in Yerushalmi in Peyah Daf Gimel. So Chazal say, Ad heichen kibbud aveim. From where do we learn kibbud aveim? From a guy named Doma ben Hassina. So yes, the Baal Shem Tov taught us Talmidim. Everything you see, everything you hear, everything you experience comes to teach you something. There is no coincidence. Anything you experience, see, or hear comes to teach you. So Rav Moshe Leib Mesasov said, I was once walking in the marketplace and I happened to overhear 2 goyim talking one to another. Mr. A asks Mr. B, do you love me? And Mr. B says, aren't you ashamed to ask that question? We've been the best friends for 20 years. Of course I love you. So Mr. A asks, what hurts me? And Mr. B says, how would I know? Did you tell me? So Mr. A says, did you ask? Did you inquire? Do you really want to know? If you want to know what hurts me, I don't need to tell you. You should look at my face and see and understand that something is wrong. So the Moshe Leib Sasova said, when I heard that guy say, how do you dare to say you love me if you don't even know what hurts me? That is v'yahavta l'reacho kamecha. To know what hurts your fellow Jew. So Moshe Rabbeinu, number one, v'yetze alecha v'yar b'sivloisam nosan einer v'libo liyos meitza aleim. And then he goes out the other day and he sees ish mitzri make ish ivri. He cannot bear to see that v'yachas hamitzah v'yatmeneu b'choil. We might think Moshe Rabbeinu just hates goyim. But a day later he goes out and he sees two Jewish people fighting around, and once again he intervenes. Moshe Rabbeinu cannot see injustice and not try to do the right thing. And then one of the two tells him, Hala horgeni ato oimer kasher horaktu es mitzri. And Moshe Rabbeinu knows, I'm in trouble. Ochein noida hadava. So you're in trouble. And then he goes out another day, and he sees some young girls feeding their herd, their sheep and goats, and some bullies come over and chase them away. And Moshe Rabbeinu once again mixes in. V'yoshion v'yashkes soinam. You got into trouble once. You're looking for trouble again? What's wrong with you? Just stay put. Moshe Rabbeinu cannot see an avla and not do something about it. And then number 5, v'Moshe hoyu roye es tzoin Yisroi b'midbar. The Medrash says, Moshe Rabbeinu loy bocha no yakodesh bochu elo b'mira hatzoin. So a little goat was missing of the flock which Moshe was looking after. I was never a shepherd, but I know that statistically, some of the animals will also always get lost. It's inevitable, it's nature. The wolves come about sometimes and they grab a sheep or a goat. So a little goat is missing and Moshe goes looking for him and he sees him far away. And the goat is running and Moshe is running after him. And the goat comes to water, and Moshe Rabbeinu says, if I would have known you are thirsty, I would take care of you. And Moshe takes that little goat on his places, on his shoulder, and brings him back. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Atu merachem v'atu roye tzoin shel bosav adam. You will shepherd my flock, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you will take care of my people. So what we learn about Moshe Rabbeinu is compassion and love and caring for others, v'yar b'sivloisam. And that is the number one ingredient that is required from a Godel Yisrael and a Manig Yisrael. And that is all before Mara Hasneh. And at the first revelation of Moshe Rabbeinu, when he sees the sneh, Shalna lecho ma'al raglecho, ki amokum asher atu omid ad maskoideshi. So another Hasidic Maisa, Erev Shabbos, I tell you Hasidic stories. So it is said that the Bnei Yisachar, the Dinavar, the Bnei Yisachar, when he was young, once, B'derech min adrochem offended Reb Mendele Mariminov, who was Mezdiknei Ador, and the Bnei Yisachar came to be Makabel Nezifa, as it is said, to ask for Mechila. And Kedarkum Shel Tzadikim, Reb Mendele Mariminov said everything is okay, Mochalacho, 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 and then the Bnei Yisachar said a word. Shal na'alecho mi'al raglecho. Na'al, 3 letters, Nun Ayin Lamed. Neshicha, Akitza, Lechisha. This is the Mishnah Masechet Oves Perek Beis. Have zoa begechalton shel Talmidei Chachamim. Be very careful when you speak Talmidei Chachamim. Neshichosan neshichat shu'al. Akitzosan akitzas akrav. Lechishosan lechishat saraf. Be careful, because it's very dangerous to hurt them or offend them. So Kodesh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, you're going to be the manig of Klal Yisrael, and you're going to be with them in difficult times and painful times, and they're going to have a lot of nisyonis. Sora nisyonis nislasu avoseinu b'midbar. Kodesh Baruch Hu tells Moshe, be careful. No neshichas, no akitzes, no lechishas. I tell them to be careful in your covet, but I tell you, never be makpid. And never, I don't want any neshichas shoel, and no akitzes aklav, and no lechishas nochash, no lechishas soraf. Ba'ahava ubechemlo hu yenahagim. So that is the first things we learn about Moshe Rabbeinu, even before we learn about his kedusha and his gadlus and about his nevuah. What we learn is about injustice and about rachamim and chemra and compassion and feeling the pain of each and every ben Yisrael, of each and every creature, like Moshe Rabbeinu with that little goat that went lost. And Yeros Shechelkenu Emoim. So, for the past 15 months, many times when I said shiurim in the yeshiva, I always davened, and I always said we all need to daven for Klal Yisrael, and we very much hope that ultimately this war is going to be over, bekorav, b'yameinu, and everybody should come safely home, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be maracham al Am Yisrael. So Parshas Shemos starts Yomei and the Mekabolim 500 years ago, and even before that, spoke about Yomei HaShoivavim. In these 6 weeks, Shmois ve'ero boi b'shalach, Yisrael mishpotem, shuvu bonem shoivavim. And when we read about Golas Mitzrayim and Geulas Mitzrayim, it is a time in which we should daven for the Geula. And it is weeks that have a special Zgula, the Kaporos Avoin, Veletikun Avoin. So our topic today was about Aveda Shemitem Temes Libe Shalodam. So B'Yamei HaShoivavim, when we daven and we learn, it is as good as Taharas HaNefesh. So we should all be Zoicha. Losha B'tshuva Shleim, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be Mechaper, Avoinas Amoy Beis Yisrael, and we should be Zoicha B'Kora B'Yameinu to see Pnei Moshiach Tzedkeinu B'Mheiro V'Yomeinu Amen. Good Shabbat.